good morning. I'm a bit of a sucker for any research on happiness. I love thinking about happiness. What brings joy to people? Why are some people happy and some people aren't? I love learning about this stuff. And so sometimes I come across a study and I'm like, oh, wait a second, I'm not sure about that. This is something that consistently comes up in the research. Something consistently comes in research is that those who are happier tend to spend their time, energy, and money on experiences rather than material possessions. That does not mean, so be careful what I'm saying here. What I'm not saying is that material possessions don't add joy to our lives. They can, and it depends on what it is. But really, the people who, generally speaking, spend more time, energy, money on experiences, so I'm talking about holidays, I'm talking about a special event with your family, or I don't know, it can be like a typical holiday, like a Christmas, Easter, whatever it is, whatever holidays you celebrate, or it can be more like a vacation away from home. Those experiences and the pictures and the stories that come from them are typically far more fulfilling and bring the level of happiness far higher up in somebody's life than buying something. Another bit of research shows consistently that whether somebody has a huge good thing happen in their lives or a terrible thing happen in their lives, typically they are at the same happiness levels that they were beforehand within about 6 months. So people win the lottery. If they were miserable before the lottery, they're miserable within 6 months. People are happy, joyful people. Typically, they become a quadriplegic, they get into a horrible car accident, or they lose loved ones. Typically with 6 months, they're a happy, joyful person again. 6 months is a fascinating number that tends to smooth out the results of what's happening in our lives. So short term, a material possession can seem like a really great thing. And you know what? Short term, we get really excited about it. But you know what? Very quickly, this happens to you. This happens to you. This happened with my kid the other day. One of my kids just got a new thing. It's a new gaming console, and we typically don't even give our kids these things. So they got a new gaming console. And they're so careful with it. Like, no, don't anyone touch it. And everyone be very careful with it. And they're so engaged with this. It's so careful with it. And they're finding so much joy in even looking at it and taking it off the shelf. You know what? In 6 months, once they've played it a few times, they're going to be like, it's fine. Is this not true of a new vehicle? Is this not true of a new outfit? Is this not true of a new even house where at the beginning you're like, oh, I've got to be so careful, and I'm so engaged with it. Within a few months you're like, yeah, it's just a new vehicle. And you just don't worry about it as much anymore. This is true of almost everything in life. So here's the question, here's the challenge for you today. My challenge for you today is, what can you do this week that will invest in an experience with the people around you, with your clients, with your customers, with your business partners, with your employees? How can you invest in an experience rather than a thing? It will motivate others and you will find far more joy. Having a little outing with some employees or with some customers is far, far more important than buying somebody a little gift. The little gift has value, but very little value compared to an experience. The time, energy involved in experiences gives far more. Inside stories, inside jokes, all that kind of stuff. Brainstorm this a little bit, come up with an idea of based on your goals, what you want to do, whether it's family or friends or business, whatever it is, and invest in an experience rather than a thing. Enjoy your day.